All right, you guys, welcome to the podcast, Life It's Better with a Bow, powered by Protect. We're out here in Tennessee. Lucky for us, the weather is more or less held off. Friday was a little bit wet, nothing like what they forecasted, and the last 2 days have been good. It's our last day here, and our guest today is Tomy Parker. You guys have heard us talk about Warrior Rising multiple times. You've seen it in the emails. We've been working with them now. Is this 2 or 3 years?
This is our second year, Sean.
Second year.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is their second year, and they're one of our favorite veteran nonprofits. You've heard it before. I love their program, so I really wanted to get them on, especially Tomy, because he's kind of the guy that's out there doing the sales. We know he's not the brains behind it.
No,
You've got
I'm
Dara
not.
out here, your wife,
Yeah.
who absolutely crushes organization and logistics of it.
Oh, if I could tell you right now, if we didn't have Dara on the team, this wouldn't work. I'd run around like a chicken with my head cut off. She gives me direction, and I'm out here doing the best I can with it.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. One of the reasons I really enjoy working with you guys is because I know I can count on you guys to be organized and put on a good show.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that as a producer of Total Archery Challenge. Just knowing that that's handled, even though it's out of our hands anyway, we give it to you guys, knowing that it's going to be done properly because it does reflect on us. I'm super grateful for that. So, Tomy, you've got a pretty interesting story.
Yes, sir.
So why don't we dive into that so the folks know, like, hey, who is this guy that we're seeing at all the TAC events? And then once we get through that a little bit, and we don't have to go into deep detail, but just kind of what your story is as they see you out here and on stage. And then we'll dive into Warrior Rising. So just kind of give us a little bit of backstory here.
Okay, well, like you just said, Sean, I'm Tomy Parker. I am from the middle of nowhere, Montana. And when I say that, I mean, like, there's more cows than people. I grew up in a town of about 2,000 people. There's about 10,000 cows, probably.
Perfect.
Middle of nowhere. And then I didn't really take high school serious. And so when it came time to graduate and move on, I didn't have any options, or I didn't see any options. So I joined the Marine Corps. And then I went to 3rd Battalion, 5th Marine Regiment in the Marine Corps, and I deployed to Sangin, Afghanistan with them in 2010. While in Afghanistan, I killed a bomb, or at least that's the way I like to put it. Really, I stepped on an improvised explosive device, resulting in the amputation of my right leg just above my knee, my left leg at my hip, and all the fingers on my left hand, saving my thumb. So really, it just left me 4'2", 220 pounds, and brutally handsome.
That's awesome.
But like most Marines and most people in the military, when I transitioned out of the military, I didn't have a purpose anymore. I didn't have a reason to get out of bed in the morning. I didn't have something to do. And so I just filled my time with chaos. I became a drug addict, starting with pain pills, moving on to heroin, and then methamphetamine, and ultimately resulting in my incarceration. I spent about 18 months in different jails throughout Montana. And like I said, that was all because I didn't have a purpose. And then when I got released, I crossed paths with my now wife, Dara. And at the time, I didn't think it was going to be anything, but I spoke freely with her. I told her what I had been doing. It was the first person that I was honest with about my addiction and everything going on. And for some reason, she saw something in me other than an addict at the time. And I don't know how anybody could, because that's all that I was portraying was an addict. And she loved me and believed in me, and because of those two things, I decided to get sober.
That's awesome.
And it wasn't an easy road, but it wasn't a hard road, because for once again, like I said, I had a reason to try, and so I worked through that, and I worked through getting sober. And I had crossed paths with Jason Van Camp, the founder of Warrior Rising, long before this time that I'm speaking of, and I'd worked for him for a company called Mission 60, and I was a leadership consultant and a public speaker for that company, but my drug addiction caused us to drift apart. And so I'd posted a picture or not a picture, but a video on the internet of me doing some burpees. I'm a boxing coach where we're from up there, and I was doing some burpees with the athletes, and Jason commented that it looked like the old Tomy that he knew was back. And so this is kind of how I tied into Warrior Rising currently. And so I said that, yeah, I'm sober and I'm doing better and stuff, and I kind of left it alone. I didn't want to be that cliche addict that as soon as they're sober, they come, they go to the highest mountain and they scream to everybody, "I've been sober 3 days."
Yeah.
Like nothing against anybody that has 3 days of sobriety, but don't pat yourself on the back right out the gate, man. Get some time under your belt and figure out how to live that life. And so I continued to do that, and then eventually Jason brought me back into the fold, and offered me a job at Mission 60 again. But in our talks, he said, "You want to start a business, Tommy?" And I wasn't sure at the time. I was like, "I don't know, man. How am I going to start a business? I'm a dumb kid from Montana. I don't know anything about business." And he's like, "No, we'll help you." And that's where Warrior Rising comes into play. So I went through what is called the Warrior Academy with Warrior Rising, and any veteran that's hearing this podcast can enroll into the Warrior Academy for free. Just go to warriorrising.org and enroll in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I went through the Warrior Academy, and I got chosen by my mentor to come to what is called a business shower. And so what I want you to think of, those that are listening and watching this, is Shark Tank, but for veterans. And we bring these veterans out. We bring 5 to 10 usually to these events. And what they get just for coming out, what I got for coming out, is a custom fit business suit. I got a laptop. I got a website specific to my company, or SEO, search engine optimization.
Mm-hmm.
And you get your travel covered, and you get a $2,000 grant. And that's not even the most incredible things that you get from coming out. You get one, to network. You get to network with the incredible network that Warrior Rising has made, and find people that are already successful in the field that you were trying to enter into, so you can hopefully avoid some pitfalls. But you also get to pitch for more money. So you do a business pitch competition first in your smaller room, and when you win, or if you win that room, then you move on to the finals and pitch again. And when you pitch again in the finals, if you win that room, then you get a $20,000 grant.
That's awesome.
And I lost. When I went through my business shower, I lost to a company that I'm going to highlight a little more later when we get more into the inner workings of Warrior Rising. To a company called Clusive, though. They're an online learning platform for the visually impaired. And at the end of the day, he was just more scalable and ready, or more prepared to have his business receive the grant funding. If I would have received the money, it would have just propped my company up to stagnate or flop, because I wasn't as scalable and ready to move as he was. And so I assumed it would be very military model, that if you're not first, you're last, very Ricky Bobby-like. And it wasn't. The mentorship, the coaching, they continued to work with me and help me get a prototype of my wheelchair bag. And I now am currently in testing of that prototype, and we're going to do some different modifications for it to change it, because my company is Independence Kits, and our mission at Independence Kits is to inspire wheelchair users to explore their reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want to build gear that helps wheelchair users go bow hunt, that helps wheelchair users come to Total Archery Challenge, that helps them even just, get off the sidewalk and actually live and not just exist, but thrive in the face of their adversity is what we're hoping for at Independence Kits. And so that's where we're headed with that because of Warrior Rising. But Dara and I continued to volunteer long before we were staff on Warrior Rising. We wanted to go to these events because we saw them making effective change and in veterans' lives. And so we would go there and we would volunteer and we would keep doing it. And one of the events, we had a guy that we hired to come in and be an auctioneer. And this auctioneer was selling the very first item of the night. It was a piece of art painted by Joe Everson, and he was selling it, and he said sold. But some people in the corner wanted to be in it. They wanted to still be, and so they're like, "We're trying to bid." So he reopened the bid for those people. The first people got upset, backed out. The second people wouldn't accept the bid, and so we lost some money there. And so I complained about it to my wife repeatedly, and her being a person of solution and not just listening, she was like, "You either need to shut up or you need to go to auctioneer school," which offended me because I was like, "Oh, what? I'm not an auctioneer." 2 weeks later, when we got back home, I told her, you know what, babe, I think I'm going to go to auctioneer school. And she said, that's cool. I already enrolled you. So,
That's awesome.
like I said, the brains of the outfit, she understood that I should be in front of the microphone. That's where I'm going to make the most positive change.
Yeah, I mean, you do a great job selling. That is what you do. And your auctioneer skills are fun to watch. And I think it livens up kind of what you're doing anyway to have that instead of just like, who will give me 5? 5. Okay, next, 10, right? So it's kind of fun to have that auctioneer deal. But you and I spoke about this earlier, but I think you should, let's get a sample of the whole.
A sample of it?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think what you're going to do is we're going to sell this Protect sunscreen, which is actually pretty cool. They just came out with this. I've been using it.
It's actually, I was told yesterday, speaking of the Protect guys, that actually isn't on the market yet. It won't be for about 2 weeks, but they're letting everybody out here at Total Archery Challenge sample it. It's super cool. It doesn't have an aerosol spray inside of there, so you just do a dot and then kind of rub it around.
Rub
to
it
get better
around like
coverage.
a lotion. But you're going to sell this.
I will sell it.
All right, folks. Next up, that's how you have to do it.
Okay.
Give us a little sample here.
Okay. We're going to try to sell this. I'm not warmed up, so bear with me, but we're going to sell this right here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to sell this Protect sunscreen, SPF 50, spray-on sunscreen. We're going to start the bidding off at $2.50. Do I have 2.5, 5,
2.5,
7.5, 10, 12.5, 15, 17.5, 20, 22.5, 25, 5, 27.5, 30, 32.5, 35. Nobody's bidding. We're just going to run it up here a little bit. We're going to go 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20,
$100.
$100. There we go, sir. We got $100 from. I'm actually going to do this little drill because I think it sounds cool. Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. So she bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter better. So it's better butter, bitter butter.
I'm not even going to attempt it.
That's my favorite. It is a tongue twister that they teach you in auctioneer school. It's really just Betty bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. So she bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter better. So 'tis better. Betty bought a bit of better butter.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that.
No problem.
I don't
man.
know how you guys do that. I could never do it. I had one when I was a little kid. It was like I slid a sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I sit. And that was always the one you did in elementary so your friends could swear.
That one's so hard to do.
And you get in trouble. But I'm going to try it right now. I slid a sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I sit. That was a lot of practice in elementary to get that. I swore a few times, got in trouble, but now I can do it. That's the extent of my abilities right there.
Hey, you're impressive, I'll tell you that.
So you mentioned earlier, first thing I want to say is thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And one of the things I've really enjoyed with Total Archery Challenge and the ability to have these fundraisers, we try to do one for conservation and one for veterans. And I did not serve, but I am very, very grateful for those that do and did. And you've made a great sacrifice with what you've done, killing that bomb. But watching, I'm glad I know the Tomy now. Mm-hmm. And seeing just what you do with what you're dealt with, right, with the cards you've been dealt, is very impressive. I think you're doing great things for veterans, what I'm seeing. And I love Warrior Rising's program. I tell everyone, in a nutshell, Warrior Rising is teaching a man to fish instead of giving a man a fish. And in the sense that, you said, you didn't win the grant.
Yes, sir.
But you continue to have the ability to be mentored, and they can help you navigate if that business is viable or not, and coach you so that you are successful. And that's what I want everyone to understand is when we're doing these events out here, and you've got the Friday night or the Saturday night after party for Warrior Rising, people are getting involved, giving money for raffle tickets, trying to win some cool stuff. But in the end, all this money is helping fund these veterapreneurs, as you guys call them. So an entrepreneur that's a vet, the veterapreneurs, and helping them build these businesses that then in turn employ other people and all this. Let me turn this radio down a little bit. I still got to work even though we're doing this. But they'll come running if there's something I need to be involved in. Anyway, so let's talk about a couple of the businesses out there. You mentioned it earlier that have gone through the Warrior Rising program and are out there making things happen?
Yeah. So first of all, the first business I'll highlight is the one I lost to, because a gentleman named Lucas Simianer. I think I'm saying his last name correct. I get corrected. Sometimes I get told it's Siminer. Sometimes I get told it's Simianer. Anyway, Luke, he started a company called Clusive, and that's the company that I lost to. And so I'm going to highlight this company because of a couple reasons. So he completely designed and programmed this entire application to put blind people back to work. So it's an online learning platform where they can go sit down and they can be trained how to do things, and helping them once again live a fulfilled life. Sorry. And when he pitched that, so the morning that I went through my business shower, we all got up in front of everybody and said our business and what we were trying to do. And when he pitched his in front of the room to everybody, I knew in that moment that he deserved to win. This gentleman's stepfather was a blind man, or is a blind man, and he watched him go through his struggles of everything, being visually impaired and everything, and so he wanted to try to make a difference. And Luke isn't a man, or wasn't a man of means by any means at the time. And he put his head down and he worked on this, and he worked on this platform. And then he came through Warrior Rising, and he beat me, and he got the $20,000. But he didn't stop there. This was able to help him move along it as a stepping stone, and was able to then go have more business meetings and go meet with these people. And he went from being a dude that he'll tell you was struggling to a dude that now has a company that's valued at over $20 million.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he's employing people. He's helping employ blind people. He's actually giving people a purpose as well. So he has his reason to get out of bed every morning to continue to try to sell his platform to more states, to more schools, to try to help more blind people. And in turn, it's making him, or is giving him fiscal freedom.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what I think most of us Americans are trying to search for, is that fiscal freedom, that ability to have enough money to live the life you want.
Right.
And that's something that Warrior Rising offered him. And I highlighted him because, much like my company, it also offers a trickle-down effect to it. It is making an impact in an area of America that is being forgotten currently, from what I understand.
That's what I like about this program of Warrior Rising. Is not you're helping this veteran who's found purpose, and through your program has been able to produce an incredible company and help a lot of people. But the trickle down effect is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like, not just helping you, Tommy, as the individual, or whoever else out there, the veterpreneurs that are finding great success, but it's also those that are being helped. And I think it's awesome. I love that part of it.
Well, and to highlight something else, so after World War II, a lot of veterans opened. I can't remember the statistics on this, but a lot of veterans, when they came back, they started businesses. And you can look at the statistics, and in a sense, and I don't mean that it was on the backs of the veterans, but they helped rebuild the economy of America by starting businesses, because veterans have a couple things that, and I'm not saying that civilians don't have them, but veterans kind of have tenacity and stick-to-itness, and will continue to grind through something that is miserable to see success later.
Yeah.
And in entrepreneurship, that is something you need sometimes, because you will have mistakes, you will have pitfalls, you might lose money, but still waking up the next day and being like, no, this is the direction I'm going. I don't care what it takes me through. I can go through swamps. I can go over steep terrain, whatever. That's where I'm going. And so when you take people that already have that drive and you give them the knowledge to be able to accomplish it, it's a win-win on both sides. Because like I said, I was in the infantry in the Marine Corps. I'm not a smart man by any means. I do okay, but I'm not a genius. And so when I thought of business, I was like, man, how is a business plan going to work? How is this and that?
Right.
And I didn't understand it, but Warrior Rising breaks it down in a way that even an infantry Marine was able to understand it. Because a business plan is really just a mission order from the military. I need this materials, it's going to cost this much, and this is what I'm going to be able to do with it.
Yeah.
And then you can track that, and you can make that scalable. Like, we needed 4 guys to hit this building. We'll need 12 to hit this building, so on and so forth. And understanding understanding the resources you need to accomplish what you need and the return you will get on it. That is business in a nutshell.
Right. And I think that, I mean, that's, again, we talk about this a lot. That's that whole teaching a man to fish that I like so much about Warrior Rising, and why, as our relationships developed, I get more and more excited about it. Why I'm extremely grateful for the participants here at Total Archery Challenge for getting involved, buying raffle tickets, buying the auction items, doing the things they do, buying the T-shirts, whatever, because this is a program everyone can get behind in so many ways.
I agree, and you brought up the teaching a man to fish part of it. I want to say this, and before I say this, I don't mean to throw any shade at any nonprofit that is giving things to veterans out here. They're doing good work.
Absolutely.
But I want to highlight in my particular story how being just given things impacted me. I got given a house. I got given all sorts of stuff. I even make the joke that I had nonprofits that gave me shoes. They really did. For a couple years in a row, I got given pairs of shoes. I don't know how they never caught on that my shoe size changed every year. Whoever needed shoes, I got them a new pair of shoes is the way it worked out. And I'm grateful for the fact that they wanted to try to give me something.
Right.
When people see somebody like me, they see my sacrifice, if you will, because it's easily seen.
It is. Yep.
And so they feel, in some cases, I feel, that they feel obligated to tell me thank you, or obligatory thank you for your service. And so they just give gifts and stuff like that. And that's cool, trying to show respect.
Yeah.
But it creates a culture of handout.
Yes.
Of, are you going to give...
For certain people, you're absolutely right.
And then on top of that, everybody's been given a gift before, but if you notice, when you get given a gift, there's no longer the price tag on it ever. So you don't know what the gift costs to be given to you, okay? When I got given the house that I got given, I didn't respect it. I didn't feel that I deserved it. And that you could see that through my actions. It got raided several times by the Lake County Sheriff's Department. I ended up losing the house because of that, okay? And so I highlight that because you would think, like, sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, really? You're that dumb? Like, you let yourself lose a house for free? And I couldn't respect it. But everything that I have done to rebuild my life since then, I bought a house with my wife. I respect that house. It's a home to me. These things I worked for, okay, has made me feel better, has made me feel more of a whole individual, like I'm living a real whole life. And so just being given things, for me specifically, was helping me be helpless, was helping me not try to drive, it was taking the fight out of me to try to improve who I was as an individual. Yeah. And I really think that did play a huge role in my drug addiction, and even to furthermore, my suicide attempts. When you don't have a purpose, there's no reason for you to not start drinking first thing in the morning. There's no reason for you to not put a needle in your arm. There's no reason for you to not try to put a pistol in your mouth, because you don't have a purpose. Why not?
Yeah.
But if you help a person start a business, or give them a reason, or even employ them at your business, not everybody wants to start a business.
Right.
But now they have a reason. Now they have a reason to not do any of that. They have a reason to try to improve. And so if we help everybody around us, we can elevate not just the veterans, but our entire society. Right.
Yeah. No, you're right. I kind of have a saying I like to live by. You're right. When you come up on somebody like you and you're like, hey, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
You know, because I'm lucky. I still have my legs, if you will. And I do think that's okay. Let the givers give. Sometimes that's all they can do. But people want to be able to say thank you.
No,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think it's fantastic that they want to do something to say thank you. But you are right. Like, it can develop a culture of, hey, will you give me this or give me that or whatever, versus, again, what Warrior Rising is all about. And that's what makes me more drawn to what you guys do. I still have the opportunity to give to you guys, but there's a motivation there because I've met a few of these veterpreneurs who have been successful, and I've met you and Dara, and it's awesome. It's a motivating factor for me, and I'm speaking solely for myself, to donate or buy raffle tickets. I just bought some tickets for that one of the guns you're giving away.
The Red Arrow AR-15?
Yeah. So because of it, I'm like, this is a way for me to say thank you. But it's also a way to see things grow and everybody else, like you said, find purpose. So I think that's fantastic. What I do want to go over real quick is you guys have some really good partners. Go over some of the bigger items that you do at every event. People can look forward to. I know I had some friends buy that trip to Belize.
Yeah.
That's at every event, or no?
I'm running to Belize and Costa Rica. You can choose to go to Belize or Costa Rica.
Okay.
That'll be at every event. Last year we did Costa Rica for most of them. And then the people that you're talking about actually told us they went to Belize instead.
They did,
and
yeah.
so they told us that we should offer Belize. We've been offering Belize this year, so people have been excited about that.
They told me that trip was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, you're 6 days, 6 nights in your own private villa on the coast of Belize. Like, it's a good time. Sorry, I had to cough. I got a little phlegm. But, it's a good time out there. From what I hear, I haven't been to Belize myself. I would like to go check out Belize, but I got to be out here with you guys instead. I mean, don't get me wrong. Belvedere, Tennessee is probably close to Belize. But
Well, it is beautiful out here, but they're different, that's for sure. Well, so that's a trip.
Yeah.
You guys, that's an auction item that's available at every event. And you guys, that trip, speaking with the friends of mine that actually went on that, said it was fantastic. So that's something worth looking at. What else?
We got a deal with G5 Outdoors and Prime Bow.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be auctioning off a custom Prime Bow to whoever purchases it at all the locations. You can get either a Revex 2 or a Revex 4. It's going to be custom limb color, riser, draw length, everything that you need to take that bow and go harvest some animals.
And that new bow is incredible.
I haven't seen one in person yet, but I've heard good things.
So a bunch of my crew shoot it. I'm a lefty. I'm waiting on one, but it shoots incredible. Everyone I've talked to out there has been saying that the RevX and the PSE Mach 34 are like their two favorite bows that are out there. Granted, everybody out there has an opinion, and everybody out there has of the top manufacturers that we deal with. They're all the bows are incredible. But that Prime Bow, my favorite Prime Bow ever was the Rise, and I'm being told that the RevX shoots like the Rise, but even more smooth. So I'm excited to give that a run.
Okay.
But so that's a cool item. I listened to the auction last night while I was up here working, and that one, the person that bought it actually got a pretty good deal.
They did. They got it for $1,100, I think, is what they got it for. Mm-hmm. So a little under MSRP, but.
Yeah. Okay. What else we got? What can they look forward to? We got Belize. We got Prime Bows. We got a gun.
We have. I'm going to give away a Red Arrow AR-15 at every event, possibly two. We tried that 1 in 100 drawing this weekend with some good success. For those of you that are listening, that might be at a future 1 in 100. You have a 1 in 100 chance of winning a Red Arrow AR-15.
Or however many tickets you buy.
Yeah, or however many tickets you buy. But if you buy one ticket, you have a 1 in 100 chance of winning this Red Arrow AR-15. And it's kind of a lottery draw. It's a fun deal. Actually, you gave me the idea, Sean, and so
there's 100 tickets.
Yeah, you put 100 in there.
1 to 100.
Yep, 1 to 100, and you pay whatever the value is written on the ticket. So yesterday, when you stopped by and drew some, you drew what 94, 68.
Yeah. I drew everything high, so you're welcome, everybody else.
So he paid the dollar value written on it. It's been pretty fun. A lot of people have enjoyed it, and so that we're going to continue that in the future. Another item that we'll have there is actually another Warrior Rising company that we helped start called War Metal Forge.
Yes, I love those knives.
They're awesome. We actually had Justin Clapsaddle here with us yesterday. He was able to talk a little bit. So Justin is a Green Beret. Him and Jason were actually in together, and Justin got out and wanted to make knives, and this was in 2015 when Warrior Rising first started.
Yeah.
And Justin's like, I want to make knives, and Jason said, well, everybody makes knives, man.
Yeah.
And so he said, how are you going to be different? Hold on one second. I don't want to cough.
You bet. We should have got him on the podcast yesterday.
Yeah, we should have, but
We'll get him on the next one.
he's a South Carolina boy. He's not far.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he said, how are you going to be different? Because everybody makes knives. And that's where I heard one of the most intelligent things I've heard about business. He said, because the person in business with the best story will go the furthest.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can have a product that emotionally serves somebody or is just a little bit different and have it make sense to them, then it does. And so that's where War Metal Forge was born. War Metal Forge takes metal that has seen combat, and then he forges them into these beautiful heirloom pieces of art that are actually functional. Tyrell Gray, who some of you might know watching, actually uses one. He's one of Warrior Rising's board members, but he uses them to actually gut animals when he goes hunting.
Yeah.
And
I got one from you. Well, actually, I don't know if it's from Tyrell or Warrior Rising as a thank you.
Last year?
Last year.
Yeah.
It was at the Utah. I was supposed to come up to the Utah event you guys had, and I'd injured my back.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, dudes, I'm not sitting. I'm out. Anyway, it was from a Jeep during World War II that had seen combat in
Battle of the Bulge, I think, right?
I think so. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Awesome.
First of all, I don't even know where you find metal that was in the Battle of the Bulge. But yeah, so that one that we gave you was Battle of the Bulge steel. The one that I auctioned off yesterday was an M110 A1 sniper rifle barrel with an olive burrow wood handle. Absolutely beautiful. They've been made of all sorts of things. I would really like to see, and I might be incorrect on this, but I believe that the very first War Metal Forge knife that was made out of a Humvee that Jason was blown up in Afghanistan.
Oh wow! Okay.
He didn't. For those of you that don't know, Jason didn't lose any limbs or anything. He got rattled in it, but that was parked in the motor pool right outside of their Green Beret command at the time. And so when they were starting to do, this is a story I remember, and I hope I'm telling everything factual. I haven't heard this story in a while. And Jason went and asked the command and said, hey, what are we doing with this Humvee? They said, nothing. It's decommissioned. He said, well, can I pull some steel from it? I have another buddy that's trying to make a knife.
Oh,
so
okay.
they pulled it, and then Justin made a knife out of that, and that's where it was kind of born. In fact,
awesome.
last year when we had Justin here, we met one of your TAC participants that is an Army sniper instructor. And so that guy is now a new channel for Justin to get new sniper rifle barrels and stuff to continue to make knives. So even at TAC, we're networking and improving our Warrior Rising businesses.
That's awesome. Let's talk about Clusive. Where can somebody find? I mean, since we're mentioning them, if somebody knows someone who's in need of any of this, then we can send them to their website. Do you happen to know Clusive's website?
I'm assuming it is clusive.com. Don't quote me on that, but here's what I can tell you. If you go to warriorrising.org and you go to the Vetrepreneur page and you scroll down, you will see all the pictures of Vetrepreneurs that we have helped, and there will be a hyperlink to go to their website.
Perfect. Okay.
And so you could go to through their website, you can go to War Metal Forge and you can purchase a War Metal Forge knife on warmetalforge.com. You could go to the Clusive website, I believe. You can Case on Shave Kit is another thing that we have out here. He's an Army veteran. I was going to highlight him as well to show how the grant funding directly impacts people like him. Army veteran that felt like the military had stolen the joy of shaving from him, which I didn't know that shaving was ever joyful for anybody.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And so he was drinking a shower beer one day and had that realization. It came up with the idea for Case on Shave Kits, or Shave Company, and so he started making these shaving creams in his kitchen, just out there chefing them up, and was very small production, very artisan of it. And then he came through our program, and he won a $20,000 grant. And so that $20,000 grant was able to help him improve production tenfold. He was able to buy some equipment to be able to improve his production. And then since then, we have just gotten him into AFES, which is the stores on the Army bases where.
Yeah.
So we just got him into AFES. They just placed a big order with him, and so now actual Army personnel can buy his products on base and hopefully have the joy come back to them when they have to shave their face
Right.
in the morning. And so,
That's great.
yeah.
So warriorrising.org, that's the website.
Yes, sir.
We can check out a bunch of those companies that you've aided.
Yes.
Yours is, you're in the beginnings, and yours is not launched yet? Is
So
your product available to purchase yet?
my product is not available to purchase.
Okay.
Once I know that my prototype is exactly how it needs to be, then we can start production. The issue I have is I want to produce a good quality gear for a fair price. But with the product I'm producing, insurance probably won't cover it. Is what is the sad truth of it. And so it needs to be a fair price point to where
Yes.
people that have private pay insurance can still buy this gear. And then I designed it as an amputee, and so the way that I use my chair and sit in my chair is different than a person that's paralyzed. And so my next iteration of prototype, I'm going to give to some friends of mine that are paralyzed and have them trial run it. And then we are going to go into crowdsource funding to make sure that I have the correct colors and everything for the people that would like to purchase it.
Yeah.
But when we do go into production, you will be able to reach it through the warriorrising.org
Okay,
website.
perfect. And are you quite a ways out yet, you think?
Probably, I have to laugh because I said in my head, I was like probably a year to make sure that everything's great. But I remember being told by my mentor that if you wait until you feel good about bringing your product to market, you waited too long.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let me, just because you said that, that's what I love. You're still working with mentors, and they're still helping you coach along and help you look through a different lens, perhaps, to make the right decisions so that you have a way higher chance of success.
yeah, even though I am a contracted employee through Warrior Rising, I still talk to my mentors and my coaches pretty regularly, and I'm constantly, because Warrior Rising has even follow-on programs. So after you go through the Warrior Academy, we just acquired Vet to CEO, which is another nonprofit that helps veterans. And so when you go through the Warrior Academy and they teach you the basics of business, and then Vet to CEO can teach you franchising, can teach you all sorts of these things. And so I'm starting these businesses, but I'm also looking at other ways to make money and do things like that, purchasing franchises and stuff. And so we have all sorts of mentorship. If you have an existing business and it's in one location, but you want to scale it to be bigger and open chain stores, then we have people that can mentor you in that. We have a very large network that's constantly growing. That the way that I see it is what I would like as a veteran and as a part of Warrior Rising is that if for some reason we have somebody come through our program that wants to work with the best underwater basket weaver in the world, I want to have them in our network. I want to be able to put them with that person.
Well, let me ask you this. I think this is pretty important for any veteran who's listening, or anyone who knows a veteran who has a good idea and looking to start a business. What's the steps for somebody to be like, hey, I would love to try to get involved to help me be more successful in my business as a veteran?
It's actually pretty simple. You're going to go to warriorrising.org, like you said, and then you're going to follow the prompts, and there should be a drop-down thing up in the top. And don't quote me on this. We are currently, redesigning our webpage.
Yeah.
And so, you're going to go there, and then you're going to look for what is called the Warrior Academy. You're going to want to apply to enter into the Warrior Academy. That'll get sent. Your application will get sent off to somebody. Where they're going to vet you a little bit. We got to make sure that the people that are coming through are veterans, or we just open this up. You can be the spouse of a veteran as well.
Okay.
Some of the grant funding we just received allowed us. There we go. Let's use that word. Allowed us to bring in spouses to.
That's fantastic.
To the program. We actually had a woman named Kayla Corbett. I can't think of the name of her company right now. She is the spouse of a veteran that won one of our business showers.
Perfect. That's awesome. And that's fair too. I've had the opportunity now in working with all these veteran nonprofits to speak with a ton of vets. and and their wives. And the wives, there's a sacrifice there too.
Oh, without a
And
doubt.
so I think it's fantastic that the spouse is allowed. I say wives. I mean, it's both sides, right?
Yeah,
Husband or wife.
It could be,
But
yeah.
in my experience, I've been speaking with wives, but to allow them to be able to participate in that also, because they are also involved in what's happening with, for example, with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dara she's amazing, and she's crushing it over here. Like
Yeah.
you said, I mean, I'm in the same boat. My wife's the only reason we function, but
My business wouldn't work without Dara.
Yeah, so I
Because
think
of
that's
the
great,
logistics side. I think it's cool to allow that, because, like you said, there is a sacrifice from being a person that was a veteran. Like, yeah, I deployed to Afghanistan, and I didn't have a wife at the time, but my friends of mine that did have wives, that did have kids, like the wife that stayed home is now mom and dad. She's,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? She's taking care of everything, making sure that everything's running. She's there for bloody noses and loose teeth and everything. And so if after the husband is done in service, or in some cases is still in service, maybe
Yes.
the mom wants to be something other than just mom. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
And so the fact that there's a program that can help them, like they have all sorts of time to think. I bet they have some great ideas for businesses.
Yeah. There's no doubt.
And so I think that it's cool that we lump them in. And I think that it is also, because I want to address this as a veteran, as the elephant in the room, I think that it's also a way for us to fight the stigma of those veterans that are going to listen to this are going to understand, of the dependopotamuses. So the
Yeah.
dependents that are painted in a bad light, because there are some in all groups there are
All groups,
there,
that's
there,
going to
there
happen.
are people that are going to make certain people look bad. And
Yes.
so it allows us to fight that stigma as well, that like, no, they're not bad people, they're good people. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yep.
it's gonna bring full circle, I think, on that.
That's awesome. You guys are making great waves. I'm excited to see kind of what happens over the next few years as you guys continue to grow with what you're doing and continue to grow those vetrepreneurs businesses that are being successful, which then has that trickle down effect. So a lot of big waves coming out of Warrior Rising. I've certainly enjoyed working with you guys, and I love that it seems to me that it's getting better and better at these auctions. I mean, that one more time, I want to say thank you to all the participants and all the manufacturers and companies that are involved in donating to your cause, so that we can have these raffles and these after parties. And, I mean, we're talking about even just last year, this year, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars have been donated and raised at these events. And so thank you to the participants. Thank you all the manufacturers and businesses donating. And thank you to you and Dara for being at every event, and your son. Tell me your son's name.
Milo.
Yeah, Milo. And for Milo, because this year he's really stepped it up. He's making things happen over there.
Yeah, Milo's homeschooled, so he gets to travel around with us and do these, and so very, very grateful to have him.
What a
out
great
here.
experience for him.
Yeah, he gets to see kind of how entrepreneurship works, how different things work, and sees that you don't have to be in that mold of high school, college, get a job. You know what I'm saying?
There's options.
There's other stuff out there. And I did want to piggyback off of you saying thank you. I don't want to list the entire list of sponsors, but what I will say is, so the stuff that was donated to us and everything last year, I want to say that we grossed close to $120,000 in fundraising through Total Archery Challenge at the after parties.
Wow.
And so, so thank you to everybody that donated last year. Thank you to the companies that have donated this year. Thank you to Black Rifle Coffee Company and to ProTech as well. You guys have worked absolutely incredible with us so far coming in.
Two other great veteran groups.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Veteran-owned veteran groups that are making waves. It's a great relationship for you guys.
No, I would just Total Archery Challenge in general is a great relationship, and the people here especially are great people. We have a lot of blue collar people. We have a lot of entrepreneurs themselves. Like I don't know how many small business owners hand me their card to process stuff, and so it's very like-minded people that can really get behind in what I feel is a great cause, what you're saying is a great cause, and to have good people like this, it coming to these events really makes me feel good about the people that we have in America, honestly.
Oh, yeah,
because there's
absolutely.
great people out here that are having a good time and trying to support and have some fun and try to slay all the foam they can.
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly right. So, is there anything? We're kind of getting wrapped up here. Is there anything left that you'd like to let people know about as far as Warrior Rising goes, or maybe if they wanted to donate and get involved, if that's possible, and how? Anything else you want to add before we close up?
So if you guys out there in the world want to donate, or maybe you want to be a coach or a mentor, because we're continuously looking for more people. Like I said, we're constantly trying to expand our network. And you can go to warriorrising.org and you can fill out the prompts to be a coach or a mentor. Mm-hmm. If you have any, if you're business savvy, if you like starting businesses, if you like helping businesses grow, if that is your passion, please come to Warrior Rising and be one of our coaches and mentors. If you are a veteran listening to this and you're thinking, I don't know if I should start a business, you should. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we went through the military and we got yelled at and told exactly what to do, and you feel comfortable being told what to do, okay? But when you take ownership for everything that's going on, then you take accountability in your life for everything that's going on, for your own success and your own failure, you will see so many changes externally in your life as well as internally, the way you see the world, the way you see yourself, because you are working towards something. So it makes me feel great. And on top of that, if for some reason the boss is being mean, you can just yell at him in the mirror. He can't fire you or anything. But
yeah,
and so and I wanted to say thank you to you guys, Sean. You had us out last year at these, and you offered us more this year. It has been an incredible opportunity to get to know you guys, the vendors here, as well as the people that come through Total Archery Challenge. So thank you.
You bet. And we're grateful to have you here. Once again, Warrior Rising. Go to warriorrising.org, and make sure you stop by and say hi to Tommy and Dara. Thank them for what they're doing. And there's always a chance to win, but you can't win if you don't play. So pick up some raffle tickets.
Yes.
So thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, guys. Thank you. On the next one.
Bye.